Hi, this is Jacqueline from the Empowered Parent. I just wanted to talk about the COS visa and how I don't believe, to my knowledge, with the little research that I have done, why people really need to be going for a COS visa uh, from people they've heard of that do the COS visa, from people that were recommended, people who've set up companies that are now doing COS visas. I've had so many stories, and I know one or two people that are struggling with getting adequate employment coming on the COS visa to the United Kingdom. I'm not particularly in need of any visa of any kind, but I have empathy for people who are coming on this visa currently or in the past few sort of years to the United Kingdom, because I've heard that it poses a lot of problems switching to other types of work from a particular type of visa. Because, for instance, if you've got a healthcare work visa, you've got to stay within that specific work or industry. You can't actually switch employers just like that. And what happens when you do not get work? People are really struggling to pay the everyday costs of life. Accommodation, food, transport, clothing, and so forth become a major issue. People's lives are really being impacted. I know somebody who doesn't get adequate work according to the time they spoke to me. And paying for everything else as a family man becomes a very difficult thing for them. So, there's another program as well that exposes people who are scamming others. I will try and link the particular person that speaks about that on their channel. And people are being called out. People have come out and say they've been scammed. People's calls are being ignored when they're trying to hear back about their application for visa, after handing in anything from 5,000 well up to even 15,000 pounds. That's a significant amount of money for anybody to lose just like that. Please, I'm asking Africans, I'm asking foreigners abroad that are trying to come to the United Kingdom on a COS visa. I believe that there are ways to do it on the .gov.co.uk, .uk site, gov.uk, I believe it is. And you can read, again, I will link that as well. You can read about the COS visa and ways in which you can actually apply for a COS visa. If you're a nurse as well, there's a link I'm going to put for which I was reading about for those who want to come to UK as nurses. This particular company actually does do the COS visa type of, I believe, anyway, I believe they work towards and help you actually apply for a nursing job in the United Kingdom. They themselves don't take any money. I believe that there are related costs that need to be paid maybe to another party. But I'm utterly shocked at what people are actually paying out and being scammed out of hard-earned earnings. People are selling land. People are selling property. People are selling, oh gosh, people are selling valuable property and paying out thousands and thousands of pounds just to come to United Kingdom. All for what? Honestly, I know that people want a better life, as it were, to be called or referred to better life. But the United Kingdom has now become extremely, extremely costly to live in. One of your biggest costs in UK is going to be accommodation, depending on where you live. And that will very likely take a significant amount of your earnings. Now, if you're not earning enough to even pay for that accommodation alone, then there is heating bills in winter, then there is other utilities, and many other bills which I've not even started to mention. How would one then comprehend paying all those bills? I think, and I feel like, people really need to assess very well before they actually sell everything in their country to actually come to UK. I've been here for, well, since I was 15. I mean, I've not always been totally independent, of course, but from 15 into maybe early 20s, I wasn't totally independent. Of course, I was dependent on parents. But after that, I had to quickly then get on my feet, completed further education, applied for my indefinite leave to remain, and I have full rights within the United Kingdom now. And I'm seeing a wave of new immigrants coming to UK or wanting to come into UK, selling everything and doing everything. Believe me, if you have everything set in Africa, if you have your accommodation, if you have a good job, you have family around you, trust me, it is better. East or West, it is better to stay in your own country. Please don't say, I am not wishing you well, or I don't want you to have a better life. That's not the point. Definitely, I wish for everybody a better life. But I think people need to think very deeply about this one. I can't speak for other countries. I know that it is equally harder in the West, in America, in Canada, and so forth. But I can't speak for those countries. I can only speak from my experience, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, and from my life in the United Kingdom. By God's grace, some of the most difficult parts of living, difficult times of living United Kingdom have now passed for me. It doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean that there's no challenges. It just means that it takes a while to settle in the United Kingdom. It takes years to settle in the United Kingdom. For some, it really depends now. If you're coming on a skilled worker visa, you've got a job that is well paid, you could very well settle in really rapidly. That can happen too. If you're coming on a low income, for instance, you're a healthcare worker or other skilled jobs that are relatively moderately or low paid, it could get a little bit harder. There is a company I know of that gets you very moderate accommodation, and the people that they bring into the UK on the CS visa stay in those accommodations. I mean, after a while you could probably move if you like, but the accommodation is very, and it can be very, it's very moderate, should I say, very simple, very humble. It could even be something like a caravan, where it's when I say caravan, it's like the moving sort of type of van which people use on short holidays here in the UK. And in there you pay your heating bills, and you do, you cater for yourself, your food, etc. However, for most people coming to the UK as immigrants, they may initially maybe stay in an Airbnb accommodation, which can be costly, or they share with friends, family, or they stay in small rooms, rooms and sort of where it's like a house, and you might share a kitchen and bathroom with several people or a few other people, which can also be really challenging. I have stories on that myself. So that's just what I wanted to say. I just want to say, think very carefully. Coming to UK, CUS visa, not knowing whether you'll have adequate work. If you haven't done your research very well on a company and know and are sure that you will get enough work, people are going hungry, then it may be time to really rethink it. Do subscribe to this channel. I'm Jacqueline. I bring topics on parenting. I bring everyday life topics in the United Kingdom. Some little shopping tips here and there, and anything else which I feel would be of value. Until next time, bye-bye.